All right, y'all, so let's talk about this. So you see the thumbnail. Now, this is something I've been talking about for the longest time now. Something I've been noticing for the longest time for as a kid. I understand that in business there's certain things that happen, whether it's entertainment, like whatever, regardless. I mean, people say, oh, they got to do certain things for the camera, right? It's no different from, you work at a hospital or something, and they have, you know, different people from the county come in. They call them the big wigs, right? The big bosses, and your department heads might, everybody be on your best behavior, like you're a bunch of children, like you need it, right? Or hey, just smile, shake hands, like man, I don't need you to tell me how to be a grown adult, right? So it doesn't make a difference. It's always somebody is trying to encourage you to be something that you're not, because it just looks good to certain people, right? So if you look on the thumbnail, you see Hassan Campbell, and you see this guy, I don't know his name, but the name of his channel is Aesthetics Waiting TV. Now, both of them, Hassan Campbell, he has made several videos speaking about how toxic this hip hop music is, the ignorance, the stupidity, like all of that. Guys coming on stage 50 something years old, 40 something years old, and so on. I think even when you're in your 20s, it doesn't matter. I feel like there is a difference between I'm here to entertain the people, give them their money's worth. We're here to uplift, not tear down and destroy. There's a difference between that and I'll do whatever it takes just to make money, even if it means being negative. I sell out my mama. I sell out my daddy. I sell out my kids. I don't care. I'm all about that money, right? There's a difference between the two. And the problem with, honestly, these rappers, even just people in day-to-day life in a lot of situations, it's like they're stuck in character. Now, here's the deal. The white guy, I don't know where he's from. He doesn't sound like a white American. Doesn't matter. But my point, wherever he's from, you know what I find really crazy? And I've been saying this for the longest time. So I said, you know what? Sometime on the thumbnails, I'm going to have to show y'all who these people are that I'm talking about. It's right here on YouTube. I don't be remembering the names of these channels. It's not people I really watch. I don't even watch this dude. His video popped up, and I watched it. Now, my thing is to show you the mindset of black folks. It's amazing to me how, and it's sad, but it's just amazing how people will verbally attack Hassan Campbell for saying the truth. Even if you don't agree with him, just shut up. Because what I find is people just watch and listen just to respond negatively. They refuse to see, like, no matter how many of our people are losing their lives out here, all these people going to prison, most of the time they're skipping prison and they're just losing their life. But bottom line is all of the negativity. Kids walking around not being able to read and write on their grade level, and that happens to people in general. All different ethnicities and all, okay? But I'm saying, when you are bragging about not having anything, when you are speaking about yourself in a negative light and saying I'm a victim of my environment, so there's no solution for you, there's no help for you, right? So what happens if a racist police officer happens to roll up on you, and then now it's 8 to 10 cops out there for one person because they look at you like, yeah, there's no fixing this guy, there's no helping him, he's trash. What if you have a racist judge that goes, if we let this animal back on the street, nah, you know what, bam, guilty, 25 years. Well, just what if they see you the same way? Y'all don't think about that? Let me tell you something. I don't listen to country music. Certain rock shit, I do, shit kind of, But for me, I listen to music to hear what's going on. And I hear racist country music. Oh, there's not nothing new. There's been some racist lyrics in a lot of country music. I've heard racist shit said in rock songs. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I've heard racism in gospel that sounds like country music. I've heard a lot of crazy lyrics, a lot of I don't believe in no God or no devil, no angels. I don't believe in all that bullshit. I don't believe in any of that. But my thing is, even with that and with the belief that people have, you have people with all this satanic worship stuff, this mindset of just, and I hear it, and it never gets publicized. People don't make a big deal about it. But one of the things that people got to always understand when it comes to hip hop, when it comes to black people, and people try to make it seem like all our culture is a bunch of arrogance, ignorance, a bunch of welfare recipients, a bunch of underachieving, don't want to do nothing with their life, street corner hanging bums, thugs, criminals. This is what they try to attach to it. That's what they throw at us. And I don't think that the good black people that have nothing to do with their lifestyle, I don't know if y'all really realize it. I guess people are so focused on whatever their day-to-day issues are that they don't really think about it. But do you listen to the music that black people are making with this hip hop shit? I'm gonna break some things down, but I want y'all to pay attention. Really pay attention to this, okay? When you, and in any form of music, I think that there should be limitations on, look, yeah, I do believe that certain things shouldn't be said. See, even OG rappers would disagree with that, which I could care less. But even OG rappers would go, nah, but see, if they censor what you want to say, okay, wait, check this out. Check this out. I can sit here and I can do a video. I didn't slip a couple of curse words in, right? I do it often, but I can make videos without cursing. I can make a point to say, hey, listen, we're trying to get this point out to, I don't make my videos for kids. I make them for grown adults. And then hopefully they can hear some common sense that will make them go, damn, you know what? This is true. I need to stop doing what I'm doing. I need to change things around, and it won't be doing it for me. Because I've heard a lot of things that I've found to be beneficial. I've heard a lot of things that was encouraging, that was, uplifting. And there's a lot of people who, like, you might hear something, and then if you don't subscribe to them, you forget who they were, or maybe they changed the logo or the name of their channels or whatever. And so, things happen, but bottom line is the words that were spoken stayed here. So my thing is, if you listen to songs, like, I guess I'll do that all in this video right here. Why not? Let me get to this first. So this white guy, and let me say before I say that, you see his video. It says, why is hip hop so childish? Haven't I said this for the past couple of years? Haven't I been telling y'all that? It's childish. It's just petty stupidity, man. And people are just getting paid to talk about nothing. And because they're making money off of it, this is what these coward OGs would say. Oh man, they're out here doing something positive. Making negative music is positive because they're making money off of it, right? Okay, so Hassan Campbell speaks about the same thing. He speaks about different things, and you got certain rappers that want to, confront him, come into his comment section or make videos about him and talk trash, right? Okay, Hassan Campbell, just say for example, he did a video. It was a month ago, right? He's talking about some new footage of the Pooh Shiesty and Gucci Mane robbery and all of that, right? The kidnapping, the mugging, whatever you want to call it. Now he has like 25K views on that video. The white guy from Aesthetics Waiting TV, okay? Let's just say AWT. We just gonna call it AWT if I remember to say AWT. So his video, I think, is like almost little short of that 130,000 views, which he got to in 9 days. Now, I don't think anybody should come after either one of them. You can have a difference of opinion, but this is the problem. The majority of people that want to talk always have something negative to say. And the thing about it is, they're both speaking facts. They're both speaking truth. And basically, even to ask the question of why is hip hop so childish? Oh, I can answer that several ways personally. But it's a damn good question. And my thing is, they both speak about the pettiness in hip hop. They both have voiced their opinions and said what they said. But why is it nobody goes after the white guy and say, hey, listen, who are you to be talking about hip hop? You ain't a part of the culture, blah, blah, blah. No. Hassan Campbell, from what I understand from him, speaking on his videos, is a street dude, right? Did jail time and all that. Came up in that Zulu Nation family. And he has been around hip hop. It's in him. You understand what I'm saying? This guy that was speaking, I don't know if he's a Brit, if he's an Aussie, I don't know where he's from. I know he doesn't sound he doesn't sound American, okay? But, so AWT, here's the thing. You don't have to be a rapper. You don't have to be black to understand stupidity. You don't have to be white to understand racism. You don't have to be a cop to understand police brutality. It's called common sense, because we have the common knowledge to know that's wrong. So I don't think you should have anything negative to say to either one of them about any of them. See, the problem is this. When I hear songs and people bragging about, and yes, bragging, because whatever they went through, that they got through it, they say, if I didn't go through that, right? They say things like this: if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't be where I am now. See, they can't stop what God got planned for you. Who are they? All the haters, all that petty talk, all that little stupid conspiracy theories and just all this religious nonsense, all this hocus pocus, magic, superpower nonsense. How many people have we heard spew all of that and then lost their lives in the worst of ways? But they will always tell about God. So I guess your God turned his back and said, man, I didn't care about you. So anyways, check this out. They say things like that, and then they'll talk about how I came from that. I came from nothing to something, right? And they talk about where they are now because they making money. They done made some records, then got some hits. Okay. But the crazy thing about that is you're glorifying all of that. Because you say you got to embrace the bad too, right? Because the bad is what helped you get to where you are now, which is the good, right? All right, so hold up. So you making songs, but in your songs, you're not explaining that. And as a grown adult, you should be able to articulate. You should be able to speak and be able to sound like a grown adult, not a little child. This dude's video, I could play it and let you just hear what he was saying, and I actually want to, but I'm not, because the whole video, he was just hitting points that it's like, wow. So if y'all want to watch it, you see the name of the channel, Aesthetics Waiting TV. That video, I'm sitting there shaking my head because I'm saying, you got not even a full handful of black people that would speak up and say what this white guy is saying or what I'm saying. Not even a handful of people really. No, they go at it trying to smile and always got to talk about how they love this rapper and that rapper. I'm not trying to diss her. Man, forget all that dancing on eggshells. Just hit the nail on the head and say what you got to say. Stand on it and mean it. So he basically is talking about the childishness and how people talk. He showed a clip of a video of a guy crashing out in the store. I know where that video clip came from. I don't know if he's sure or not, but it doesn't matter. It's this Arab guy or Indian or whatever he is. He liked to do pranks. He messed with his customers when they come in. Hey, sweetheart. Hey, donut, and just saying little stuff like that. Hey, chicken McNugget and all that silly stuff. And like, yo, folks, yo, come on, man, we talking like that. But, and this is the thing. He'll help them. He'll let them take free stuff and all that. He'll do all this type of stuff. He mess with them and tease them. But it's like, this is my point. Regardless to what, you can't blame him for the way people react, right? But it's so crazy how people can use black people for entertainment purposes. And it's always the worst of black people that you see. Yo, come on, fuck, ain't talk to me like that. Yo, come on, yo, man, come back there, yo, hey, yo, man, yo, nigga, I'm telling you, man. Yo, talk to me like that. Yo, man, come on, man. You want that funny shit, my nigga. Yo, come on, man. Yeah, shit your goof ass down, nigga. And this is all you see. And I'm saying, you know, he's basically saying the same things that I'm saying, that Hassan Campbell has been saying, and other people. Now, you got different stories, different situations, but yeah, I'm saying, where's all the, and not that you should, but where's all these black rappers? Where's all these, yo, man, who are you? No, where's all of that at? They do it to Hassan Campbell. I told you, black people only want to confront black people for saying the same things that other people are saying. Only, and here's the thing with this guy. I don't see him as trying to be insulting about it. I see him as, because you know, I don't support no sellouts, and I'm not gonna sit up here and salute no sellout. I'm not saluting anybody in this. But I'm saying, look at how many, you could go and just start looking put the search in and look at how many white people, how many non-black people is dissecting hip hop and breaking it down to its core, to how ignorant and how childish and how foolish it is. They're not worried about backlash either. They're just like, hey, this is what y'all show. Let me explain something to y'all. Right? You can go all the way back to Kane making Mr. Welfare, right? He's not glorifying in the song, right? He's just talking about the things that people are doing and people making bad choices in life and using welfare. Now, this is coming from one of the best rappers to ever do it, right? And I'm saying we know that. But you got people who make songs and they're bragging, like I said, about having nothing. Even the stories they tell. Even fighters. I get so sick of these stereotypical interviews where it's always some black person. I don't care if he's a football player, if he's a basketball player, if he's a rapper, if he's a professional wrestler. I don't care if he's an actor. I always hear the saying, well, you know what I'm saying, I grew up like, and it's just like me, you know what I'm saying, my 5 brothers, my mother. You know what I'm saying, my mother working 2 jobs to hold it down for, because, you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying, I ain't never knew my father, and, you know, and it's like, this is deliberate. This is what black folks don't get. How come none of you black people are smart enough to say, listen, you want to talk about my life story or whatever, okay, like this. I don't put my personal business out there, so there's certain things I don't want to talk about. Simple. You know, we can talk about this, and this, but I don't want to talk about this, that. That's nobody's business. It's simple as that. It's as simple as that. And if they, well, you know, people want to know you, the really, well, what the hell they got in, me telling you about my brothers and my home situation. I never knew my father. What does that got to do with anything? What does any of that have to do with you? What does any of that have to do with what I'm doing on that stage or on that football field? What does any of that have to do with any of you? Not a damn thing. And they so proud to sit there and say that, you know. When we was growing up, I remember when Naughty by Nature made the song Ghetto Bastard, right? And I know Tretch had that verse with something where he said, I never knew my dad, motherfuck the fag, right? And I don't know you know, I know basically Ghetto Bastard is, from what I understand, is supposed to be about Tretch. He's talking about himself in the song. He's not, that it's not a song, you know, where he's playing, you know, like a third party or something. A second party, he's talking about somebody else, like he's talking about himself. But it's a song that a lot of people can relate to, right? And I don't know if anybody ever said this to Tretch. I don't know if he ever had conversations with people about this, but you know, when Naughty by Nature blew up, everybody was, they were making a bunch of anthems, and people was, you know, they was liking Naughty by Nature's music, but a lot of people, and I'm talking about the working mother and father. I'm talking about the kids that grew up with the mother and father, was feeling some type of way because they was like, yo, like, who is these motherfuckers? Like, who are these people, right? Like, why would you say something like that, right? So my point, what I'm saying is, people in the hood that had that, yeah, I ain't never know my father, and yeah, and they're saying this line with so much power in their voice, so much because they heard it in the song. I can relate to that. I can relate to that. So you calling yourself a ghetto bastard, right? Then you got people who like, bro, we grew up in the same neighborhood. We see the same things, but we still make different choices. Some people had two parents in the house, you know, through their youth. Some people, and then the parents may have divorced. Some people, family stayed together. Some people end up, you know, maybe losing their life or something like that. But regardless to whatever, my point was, you have a responsibility that when you say things, you need to understand how your words touch. So the younger you are, the less you think about stuff like that, especially when you read off emotion. So my thing was, when I heard that line, I'm like, damn, you know, he's telling you his life. But I never took it like, because like example, my father was in the house. My parents divorced. My mom was the one that left. But I ain't never was like, fuck my mother, fuck my father. That's not something I would ever say. Because regardless to whatever may have been the situation, like I was molested or nothing like that as a child, but no. And I'm going to tell you, like my dad was one of them hard-nosed dudes. He was mean as fuck. And he had his times where he would be nice momentarily, but my father was angry all the time. He was always complaining, always just mad, the devil this, the devil that, the devil this, Satan, 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 God going to do this, and God. I mean, he was always complaining and arguing. And we used to leave the house before he could come home, like, man, and we used to say, like, yeah, here come the grouch, man. And we would leave. So he come home and all that complaining. It's like, we didn't want to hear it. So my point was, even though my father was in the house, we just didn't have a good relationship. He pushed people away from him. So yeah, I had a lot of feelings inside. It shit hurt like a motherfucker, man. So the camouflage to people may have been because I didn't talk about it. My best homie was just like, yo, I ain't know. Like they only knew certain things, like because if they came to the house and like they would hear my father saying certain things. But like I never would go to my homies like, yo, man, my father tripping this and that, man. Yo, my mom. But my mom, I ain't said a word to nobody. It's not their business. That's my homies, but that ain't their goddamn business. I don't ask them. I got a partner right now. I never ever seen his father or his mother. Or his mother. And we was like this. So I don't know what's going on unless somebody say, yeah, man, I lost my mom or I lost my dad. I don't ask questions like that. You know? So yeah, so everything is not for everybody's ears. I see, and I can't even say I was raised like that. I was just the opposite. Like my dad was always, I was always more laid back, more quiet, more to myself. Had a bunch of people around me. Had a dozen homies, but like I never was like a person that feel like I just need to go chat to everybody about what's going on in my life. I'm like that now. The immaturity that people had, it always had me feeling like, I felt like most of the time that I was the only person that noticed these things. And here and there somebody would tell you, yeah, man, like, because a whole lot of people I hung around was like older than me. But they didn't act any older than me. You understand what I'm saying? But we were like that was the thing with me. I didn't like being around a lot of silly stuff. And then like I got a temper. You understand what I'm saying? So like for me, like you can't play with me like the way you play with other people. Certain like shit will get, stuff got serious. Me and one of my cousins was talking about that. Man. He was saying how, like some of my other cousins sometimes like when they hang out, like his friends think like he's mean or something, but it's just like because like I've always, like you can't play with me like yo suck my like nah like I'm gonna put hands, feet, and elbows on you. You not. You understand what I'm saying? Like ain't no playing. Oh, we just joking. Nah. Like so, and then all that slap boxing and play for like nah. Like I do it for real. So like no. So I was never with the silly stuff. And like for me, what always turned me off was the ignorance, man. One of the things that I always saw, and this is one thing that always got me about these rappers, that your pen game might be real nice, and you can write a song and you put words together well, you can flow and like that. But why can't you have a conversation and sound like a grown adult? And it got worse. It's like now they sound like babies, and I've been saying this. Typical interview. So this is your third album. What makes this album different from your first two, or do you feel like this is your best work? Nah, man, word up, word up. Like for real, for real. You know what I mean? Like, yo, it's a vibe. Like, you know what I mean, once I get in that booth, the booth. I didn't know the word booth had an F in it. Getting the booth, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Yo, everything start clicking, start working, you know what I mean? And then like, word up, word up. Like, you know what I mean? No, you just keep saying, nah, I mean, word up, but you really not saying a damn thing. I mean, how do you talk 40, 50 seconds and you still haven't answered the question? I mean, just a simple, the first two albums was more braggadocious. Had a few songs for the club, the dance and all, but this album, I wanted to get more personal. I wanted to express more family values. I wanted to put more substance in this one. So, yeah, I got some braggadocious. I'm this, I'm that, whatever. Got some of that. Got the fun stuff on there. Got the. But I wanted to really touch on different topics that I feel is necessary because I have a voice and people listen. So if I can get your attention for something that's needed, everybody know I can rap and I'm, yeah, he's this, he's that, whatever. But like, this is something that the people need, the culture needs it. And people need to see that this is not some, childish genre where all we do is just talk trash and, curse and swear and everything is about I do this, I do that, I got my nine. They just can't do that. Everything is always this extra. Like, are they sitting there high? You ever see the interviews and the dude sitting there twisting his dreads and so like, y'all coming from the Bronx and all. Yo, Gun Hill, salute to Gun Hill, all the soldiers over in Gun Hill, know what I'm saying? Hello. So, like, yo, like, what got you rapping? The motherfucker sound like he's not interested, right? In the interview. Man, saying like, or sitting there chewing on a straw, so just something, sitting there shaking his legs, just something, it just looked like children. They don't even look like grown adults. And I'm like, I think you probably never had a job before. And if you did, you probably had somebody that just hired you because they just needed help and probably like this, a job you didn't even take serious. And I say that because your people skills, you just conversation, they don't even know how to do that. You chose to do an interview and you, like, my cousin, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just talk. Nigga was like, yo, you want to rap? I'm like, I mean, like, if I just came over, you know what I'm saying? These dudes beat on, you know what I'm saying? I just started rapping, like, fuck it, like, nah, man, I can do this shit, so fuck it, like, you know what I'm saying? And that shit is what it is, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Word. Yo, cause like, yo, that joint you did called such and such is fire, yo, like, fire, like, that's, yo, I love that right there. Like, what made you write that? This is right, you know what I'm saying? This is like, damn, and this is like, how long can you sit in that seat and tolerate talking to somebody that sound like a goddamn zombie? these older dudes, yo, yeah, yo, it's your man, yo, this, yo, yeah, I mean, yo, all animated, and I'm like, do you like seriously talk like that for real? You sound stupid. Is this supposed to sound intimidating? Now, if this dude is saying what he's saying, and whatever his age is, probably in his 20s or something, listening, looking at him, how do you think other grown adults just look at you? He made a comparison about guys that's supposed to be gangbangers and gangsters in hip hop, right? And basically, he's looking at the black community, which I tell you, they always try to people, black folks trying to push it like gangsters is part of black culture. Like, no, that is not symbolic of our culture. Have you had gangbangers? No, and stop saying like it's some badge, wearing a badge of honor. Bottom line, when he's comparing, he said like how the mafia have more of a grown up like approach, and they don't seem like a bunch of little kids outside. And this is what I've always said, man. Even like the style, you think sagging your pants and rolling one pants leg up, all this dumb shit, wearing your arm in one sleeve of your shirt, the other half around your shirt, like all of this goofy shit, and they say that's black culture. No, that's a part of your bullshit hip hop culture if they want to accept that bullshit. But that was never my thing, man. And my like when I'm listening to what he's saying, I'm like, yo, he probably, and then I read comments. So what I'm saying, he probably can get more black people to pay attention to him than Hassan Campbell can or any other black person. It's like I said, and even if they don't agree with him, they probably won't say much of anything. But even for somebody to sit there and talk about, to try to defend that, there's only going to be somebody who's guilty of that themselves. There's nothing wrong with someone pointing out the fact that, hey man, this needs to change for the better. It's all ignorance. It's all stupidity. And I've been saying the same thing. It's like you talking to a bunch of babies. Y'all know this. Y'all know this. When I first started talking about this stuff, all right, y'all know I was saying these same things. Just the way they dress, all the hopping around, and I mean, it's like even when people talk about stage performance, stand up on stage, grab your dick, point to your brain, jumping around, making gun signs, and just hopping around. It ain't saying nothing. And I'm sitting up here like, when they talk about bringing your kids to a show, you only hear the OGs say things like like if they see families come out, they got the kids out, and you might hear one of the OGs might address the fact that you got different generations here witnessing history and all that and whatever. But let's just be real, y'all. Do you want your kids sitting there listening to somebody hollering and screaming, like just cursing and swearing and just, I mean, what is your kids supposed to be learning? They're more focused on, the evolution or the essence of hip hop, the beginning of, but yeah, now let's teach this kid to have a foul, nasty mouth, right? When Melly Mello and them used to perform, and they used to wear them costumes, it's because they was performing. They were performing. Now, I don't know how they carried themselves in off stage and like just and say real loud. I don't know how they carried themselves. If they were troublemakers, if they were trying to be tough guys, if they were respectful, if they were gentlemen. I don't know what they were. But I can say they wasn't on stage bragging and pushing a negative narrative. When you hear him talking about don't push me because I'm close to the edge, I'm trying not to lose my head. It's like a jungle sometimes. Sometimes it makes me wonder how I keep from going under. Listen to what he's saying in the song. He's just talking about day-to-day life and how stressful things can be. Don't push me. Leave me alone. I'm just trying to make it in this world. He ain't out here talking about selling drugs, glorifying street beef and all this stupid nonsense. These dudes ain't singing about nothing. They ain't rapping about nothing. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show you how ignorant people are, right? You see this guy, Luke. What's the other one? Trick Daddy. They open their mouth to defend this, what's her name, Young Miami or whatever she called herself, right? Hey, she out here doing something positive, you know what I'm saying? You, if everybody sound like you, we'd be bored to death, right? Of course they gonna defend that garbage, and I don't care how people take it. That garbage that she made. It's really simple. She made a song about scamming and boosting. Is that what you want your kids to do? Yeah. Now take it how we just had a 1-year-old baby lost its life because the mother, okay, not of that child, okay, the mother of other, the other of other children was accused of stealing some diapers. Now we know the story was BS. We the diapers were paid for, but this little baby was murdered by these dirty cops, and they wasn't even trying to steal. They wasn't boosting and scamming. Now imagine if they was guilty of doing so. The cops don't feel bad about what they did. Do you understand that? They just had a guy, and this was a white guy, had his face smashed into the damn asphalt, and he's telling him, I can't breathe. The guy's going, this sucks. I can't breathe, right? The guy lost his life. He was gone. By the time they got him on the gurney, and you see the EMT go, this guy's dead. You even hear the cop go, hey, and he's like, is he dead? Yeah, this guy's dead. He goes, oh, I hope I didn't kill him. And they're laughing at it. and yeah, they're laughing. This is funny to them. So imagine people that get influenced by that song and they think scamming and boosting is like a nigga got to make it how a nigga can, right? You think that these cops would hesitate of putting a bullet in your little kid's head? You wouldn't hurt a little kid, would you? Oh, we'll do more than hurt them. We'll take their lives. Easy. We don't care about them. And this is what you come up with. But let me show you how stupid Luke sounds. No, how stupid he is and how stupid Trick Daddy is. Because this Young Miami, or whatever she called her, whatever her name is, she got interviewed. The interviewer asked her, and this is recent, the interviewer asked her, pull it up and look at it, right here on YouTube. This is why I saw that. He asked her about her kids becoming rappers and do they listen to her music, and she said she don't really listen to. She even said one of her kids 12 or one is 6 and the other one is I think 12 or 13. Didn't even know how old her kid was, but she said I don't let them like listen to like my little one, like he listens to stuff, but he's smart. He knows it and like he understands it. Like, but I don't want that. I want them to go to school and I want them to stay away from it. I don't even want them to I don't even really want them to listen to my music. Right. But you're selling your music to whoever will buy it. Don't matter if they grown, they kids, if they got irresponsible parents that let them listen to what you make, right? It doesn't matter, does it? As long as you're making your money, but you want to keep your kids safe from that. So you don't want your kids to listen to it. Because you know what the message is, and you don't want them to be influenced by it. This came out of her mouth. So while Luke and Trick Daddy is defending her, right? She herself don't even want her kids to listen to that toxic crap that she makes. That came out of her mouth. So who sounds stupid? Them. Well, your name is Trick. So, you know what I mean? And the fact that anybody, so as long as your opinion of her music is oh, I like the music, okay, cool. I guarantee you don't reach out and thank all the people that say they like the music, but because India Irie says what she says, and I agree with what India said 1,000%. 1,000%. But that's black people speed, low frequency. Anything about robbing, stealing, killing, fucking somebody else's wife, just something negative, some low frequency garbage. Nah, as long as you could two-step to it, as long as you can get your shoulders shrugging, that's all you care about. You don't care nothing about nothing. Put your little bullshit drink up in the air. Always it's like, even like partying. Why is it that a party, everybody, I don't care what music is being played or what, but why is it, if ain't no liquor, If ain't no weed, no drugs, some illegal activity, somebody get killed at the end of the night, the police got to be there, yellow tape. Why does all that have to go hand in hand? They just had a basketball game in Harlem, right? Trying to do something for the people out there, get them some little entertainment with the game. Had a basketball player come out there. I'm not familiar with who he is, but he lost his life out there. And with all the racism going on in the world, we're the targets. You are here doing these racist people work for them. So you understand what I'm saying? Who you think is doing that? People that like India Arie's music? People that have that high frequency, that self-esteem, that care about the culture, you think they're the ones doing it? No, absolutely not. Cool G Rap says something. See, all these lyrics that people had, they always stood out to me. Because I don't care how lyrical you are. I don't care how look, I'm a wordsmith myself. So I'm big on wordplay, but I always paid attention to who was saying what. And I would analyze these motherfuckers' lyrics and shit. And I was like, and I told y'all the story about me why I walked away from that bull crap, because I'm like, man, this is, but bottom line is G-Rap, I remember he said, I got a posse, a great big citizen crew of niggas that belong in the zoo. You understand what I'm saying? What's the name of the song? I'm Wanted Dead or Alive. Everything, murder, murder, kill, kill. I'm wanted dead or alive. I walk the New York sidewalks. All the girls hawk, but I don't stop to talk. I keep stepping with the 9 on my waistline. Got 16 shots, but I don't waste mine. Never test because I dress with a bulletproof vest. What he say? Just something that try to test. I leave a bloody ass mess and all this stuff about being connected to the mob and niggas he robbed and blood stains are on my belly. And son got rowdy, so I shot him in the alley. And I'm just listening to all of this shit, and I'm just like, I noticed that you could have even better lyrics than G-Rap, but if your bars is not about murder, murder, kill, kill, and you rap it about something of substance, you're not gonna get that same reaction. You gotta have something. So it gotta be something else that's But nah, and he wasn't even the biggest seller. But my thing, what I'm saying is, when you get to the point where even like with the music, the lyrics, and people go, oh, they would always say things like, nobody telling shit alone. You know what I'm saying? That he can't kill people in the movies. The same thing. No, it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. Music is music. Movies are movies. And I think that everything should have something that people need to understand. There's things that's just inappropriate. But the thing about it is this. You don't see a bunch of white-oriented music, a bunch of places that's white-oriented, and every week they shooting and killing each other and call themselves crackers and all that. And this is not a defense. Y'all know better than that bullshit. What I'm saying is plain and simple. When I let you hear this idiot sitting up here talking about, all people get it past me is white people and Spanish. They ain't my enemy. Know what I'm saying? With anything black, I'm banging on. They don't care about your kids. They don't care about you. They don't care about nothing. Whack 100 had a white dude stand up here and was telling him to say nigga and all this and make this a racial thing. And you understand what I'm saying? These motherfuckers, they're not loyal. They're not honorable. They'll do anything for money. They're a bunch of sellouts. And these same dudes used to sit up here and that bullshit show, the Clubhouse or whatever the hell, sit there and sit there with this guy Tekashi 6ix9ine, calling him a rat, he a snitch, this and that. But just look at all these dudes. These same dudes, every time you turn around, they got paperwork on somebody. And because it's public records, that's supposed to be the cover-up. So what? Why the fuck y'all grown-ass men walk around here worrying about what somebody did, trying to prove who's a real gangster and who's not? And this is what I'm telling you though. The way these rappers dress, grown ass men, all that shit on your teeth. You can't even talk. You barely can speak. You barely can speak a sentence without that shit in your mouth. Now you sitting up here, these stupid looking long ass shorts on, and with all these different. I mean, just look. They look stupid. Tattoos all over your face. They got some dude. What do you call himself? King Yella. Every time I seen him on an interview, he was always about to fight somebody, right? Always drunk, threw up on somebody's show. Now he's sitting up here and he's saying what we've been knowing all along. Now, I don't know him personally. I don't know if he had somebody in his ear telling him, yo, you need to slow down, bro. You need to pay more attention to what you're doing and keep yourself sober. But now he sat up there, I seen an interview with him yesterday, and he was talking about he broke. Everything gone. He talking about how all the homies, everybody, you know what I'm saying? When you on top, you got all this stuff going. Everybody, you know what I mean? They all in your corner, but as soon as you don't have that stuff no more, you can't call no. Yeah, bro. Now you finally learned what we've been trying to tell you guys a long time ago. Y'all running around with the wrong people. These people are not in your corner, man. You know, the ignorance, okay, the stupidity. I told y'all before, man. I tell y'all again for those who might not remember. When I was doing music, I didn't have the right connections as far as how to get in the business. We was meeting a lot of independent people that just had studios. They would do shows. So there was a lot of things I learned later on, but I got to the point where I just washed my hands with it. Because like I said, I enjoy my freedom too much to be locked up for doing something to one of these people, man. But what ended up happening was, and I guarantee you, there's people within the industry that can tell you similar stories, where, for one, what happened, this dude was talking like he was some big shot. My mom used to have a barbershop, and across the street, is this big ass factory, or used to be a factory, and he started renting it out, and people had like their businesses in there. So I didn't even know at the time. And what happened was one day, my mom had my demo in there, but like her husband used to like always, hey man, listen in, and you know. So some dude came by and he was trying to promote his he actually put some flyers in their windows so when people walk by they see whatever. And he was like, yeah man, let me let you hear something, right? So he was playing his music for my mom's husband. And my you know, they was doing shows and stuff too, right? So when they heard my stuff, it was like, yo, who that? Like, you know him? He's like, yeah. He's like, that's my stepson. Yo, can you get in touch with him? Like, yo. So they wanted to do a song together. They wanted to do shows together. And like, so my thing was across the street where, you know, is where they was recording at the time. Well, the guy that was there was like, yeah, man, we run an independent company and we do this and that and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, but he was talking like he was some big shot. Now, at this point, he's talking about like a business deal. And this is when MySpace was popping. So they wanted us to basically use MySpace to promote our stuff, but they was going to put money up for us to travel. And if we had to stay in hotels and stuff, and, you know, whatever. And it was easier because we already had studio access. We was already making, you know, so we, you know, need nothing else unless we just wanted to AO. Because we like the people we was getting our beats and stuff from, plus we was making our own beats. But what ended up happening was, as far as like that business side of it, bro, he gave me his address. I'm like, yo, so I'm thinking he gonna be there. Man, I'm thinking I'm in the wrong place. I see a bunch of old Jewish dudes sitting there. I'm like, hey, is his address, whatever it was, 1751 or whatever? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, I'm looking for whatever the dude name was. He's like, oh yes, he's coming. Man, these are a bunch of old Jewish dudes. Say, yo, so you know the guy, whatever the damn DJ was. I'm like looking. So I'm like, wait, he's not here? Like, no, he's not here, but have a seat. Yeah, sit. Have a seat, please. And so I'm standing, I'm looking, and then they sitting there, and I'm the only black dude in there, and I'm like looking around, and I said, "Excuse me, what the fuck do you know about rap?" And he started, all right, no, well, you see, I know that it's money to be made. It's easy. Uh, and he explained to me what their role was. So basically, they were the ones putting the money up for the, I'm like, no, hold up. Now, I don't have a lawyer present or nothing. I said, nah, I'm not signing nothing right here. I said, okay, this is more than what I expected. I said, I'm not even understanding, like, I said, okay, so I'm going to have to get back to y'all. I didn't do business with them. But my whole point is the image you see of all that is black people. Right? And it's just a bunch of old Jewish dudes. So dude ain't have no power. All he basically, bottom line, was the ear for talent. So he's a DJ, he was up in that studio and pretty much, he's like a DJ / A&R for them. Because pretty much he had no power. None. And, the thing was, when I listened, because he was just playing a little stuff of, the people he had lined up, and everything was murder, kill. Murder, kill. My niggas do this, my niggas do that, my niggas do this, my niggas do that. Murder, kill. Fuck you, bitch. And that's pretty much how I went. And I'm like, all right, I see what's happening. And when you're in a certain market, you got to be able to compete, right? And I understand all of that. And I can tell you, every time certain songs I did, it just didn't set right with me. Because everybody, yeah, and it's like this bloodlust. And I remember saying to my partner, man, we got to come out with the right formula. Because what we can't do is come out with all this street. The next time we come out, we have more of a mix. Because that's when people, is some unwritten rule in hip hop that, he fell off, the nigga going soft, because everything. You understand what I'm saying? So we didn't want to dig a hole for ourselves. And I knew how to do that. But it was just one of these things. Even the people that was in our circle, you started to really see who was really who. And I'm like, And basically, we had some dudes that was, they had some talent, but I was the only real lyrical beast in that whole little, this particular, group we was in. And I'm just looking around, and I could see none of them had no fucking backbone. They would be willing to just do whatever somebody say just for a little money. And I could see, like, and the thing is too, when you do business with people but y'all not close, it's different. Because if you're not really close to somebody, they don't really have your back. Not the way they should. And in fact, I found with myself, there's certain people that I see, like, it's not that they were loyal to me. They just knew, like, if they crossed me, what would happen. You understand what I mean? And it was like, nah, it's not because they were loyal. And so for me, it's like, if I can't trust you, it's best that we just stay away from each other. So hip hop didn't make or break me. And I wasn't going to sell myself and walk around with my ass crack hanging out, and all hunched over and trying to act all super hard. And I didn't. It's like, bro, we're doing music. These pussy ass rappers, you think these motherfuckers can fight because they think they can fight because they fight a bunch of crackheads and because they got an attitude? No, they ain't no fighters, man. They got shooters around them. They got fall guys around them. So even the ones that might be able to scrap a little bit, no, they ain't no fighters. And this is not what we're signing up for, right? That we got to walk around with a bunch of criminals because if something goes down, we got to have a fall guy. I looked at what hip hop, I'm like, yo, this show business shit is a joke. It's a joke. Y'all super tough until something goes down. I mean, let's be real. You don't see the potency of what I'm saying when I tell you, let's look at 50 Cent and Ja Rule. Farrakhan, a black man, couldn't even get them to settle their beef. Ja Rule was willing. It's always 50 that was just wanting to be a big ass kid. But you mean to tell me this racist piece of crap, Trump's son, put an event together for them to perform at? And you mean to tell me that 50 and Ja Rule can coexist and behave like good little boys because masters say so? Let's not forget, 50 Cent bought a whole bunch of tickets from Ja Rule's show because the tickets only $25. Remember that? Like he bought like the first 10 rows or some shit just to be an asshole to try to mess his show up, right? And now because this white dude, see, this is what I'm saying. These white people, these racists, they show you just how little control black folks have. Just like Mike Epps said, I don't care how much money you got, I don't care how rich you are. If you black, you only got some type of power over other black people. Oh, black people to do that. No, let's just say, for example, right? And y'all, I know y'all be sleeping. 50 Cent to this very day has always had a problem with anybody that is cool with who he sees as an enemy. You notice this, right? And throughout the years, you've been hearing, like he always said, if you cool with somebody that I'm enemies with, then you're my enemy. And I'm not going to leave you alone until I get rid of you, right? 50 Cent been saying that all up to 2026. 50 Cent says that, and I told y'all, there's one person who could do what he want. 50 Cent won't do shit. That motherfucker could make a song with Ja Rule. 50 Cent won't do nothing. What's the last thing you heard him say about Jay-Z? He said that Jay-Z, soft. He said he only fuck with Jay-Z. I mean, it's competitive with, but Jay-Z is like he made it personal with Jay-Z, and he don't like Jay-Z. He personally don't like Jay-Z. Well, Jay-Z just did a show and brought Eminem out, and I guarantee you, 50 Cent ain't gonna do shit, and he ain't gonna say shit to Eminem. He ain't gonna say nothing about Eminem. Now, Tony Yayo did that shit. Yeah, Uncle Murder, whatever. Lloyd Banks, if any one of them decided they gonna chill and they doing the show and they gonna bring Jay-Z, oh, you better believe 50 Cent would be like, yo, and you know Tony Yayo, his apologetic ass when it come to 50 Cent, right? So you know he would have a problem with that. Now, why didn't this motherfucker have a problem with Eminem? We know why. I know what his excuse would be, but we know why. And they keep showing you this. And I'm seeing all these different people, non-black people, always stripping down hip-hop, stripping down what people are talking about, their ages. And for you to be this age, you shouldn't be talking like that. And this is what I'm talking about. I see people sometimes, and it's just like, damn, man. Yo, what's going on, folk? Hey, yo, man. Yeah, man, I'm going. Yeah, listen, man, I'm going out here, man. Motherfucker police come down and talking all this shit. I'm like, yo, nigga, fuck you down, man. Come on, man. And I'm looking at him like, bro, just go home, man. Just go home. You stopping here talking to everybody that's listening to your story. You out here with flip-flops on, your shorts hanging down to your goddamn calves and your ass crack out. Just go home. For these cops to come out here and make an example out of you for nothing. Just go home. Leave it alone, man. Hey, go get a lawyer. Handle it that way. This shit right here ain't gonna be nothing but a bunch of dudes standing around here with cameras watching you get your ass beat by these police. Just go on with all that, man. You know what I'm saying? And nobody knows how to do that. Everything is, yeah, man, listen, touch me, I hate you, man. And I'm like, bro, like, grow up. And the fact of the matter is, you out here, isn't that your son and your daughter? All right, you want them to sit here and watch you get your ass beat up by these cops because you know they don't care about your kids. Take your kids and go in the fucking house, man. And I'm not saying go in the house, because the cop, no. I'm saying just go in the house. Why? You out here, they just had a situation with you, right? So you know they're looking for a problem. and you got your kids right now, right? Okay, so where you are, that's where your kids are. So if you outside, your kids outside, what's going to happen? If these cops come around here and harass you, just go in the house and chill. Just relax. Tomorrow's another day. But you know what I'm saying? You know, yeah, you right, man. You know what I'm saying? And then what happens though? All it takes is for somebody, fuck your kids. You my nigga, but fuck your kids. Yeah, nigga, let's go smoke this. You go outside and you leave your kids in the house, right? Now your kids coming out, daddy, and you outside, right back where you just was. Here come the cops fucking with you. And you standing outside drinking a beer. And you know you're not supposed to do that in public, right? You understand what I'm saying? And case in point is these motherfuckers are grown. I'm not talking about some young boy that had a baby at 12 and 13. I'm talking about grown-ass men. If you're making songs and you referencing the ghetto as just a big-ass piss and shit pot, you referencing your life as a nobody, you have nothing good to say about your mother or father, nothing about your family, none of your music have any substance to it. Victim, I pop pills just to hide the pain, and you know, I get drunk just because of all of this shit that y'all talk about. See, all of y'all rap legends, there's always the one that's martyrs that y'all want to claim to be the best at this and that. Y'all learn from their lifestyles. And then the fact that even, you know, I would watch DMX behavior and I'm like, y'all got y'all heads so far up this man's ass that y'all can't even be honest about the way he's living his life. The dude was a drug addict. And I don't care nothing about all that. Oh man, he was murdered in the hospital. I hear what you saying, but do you want to know something? Not that he would have listened, because he seemed like one of them hard-headed, wiry, I do what I want. Because even when his son was in front of him, he, bottom line, and you know that nobody was going to tell him to stop doing drugs, he was going to listen. It takes something, really, it take that scare from the doctor to tell you, hey, if you don't stop, you're going to die. Other than that, remember when he was holding that little baby and he was hugging him and people was like, yo, man, DMX living his best life. Yo, I'm happy for, right? And he died shortly after that. Now, whatever happened, whether it was really the hospital's fault or whether he OD'd, whatever it was, how many of y'all that's talking all that prayers up for DMX and when he was in that hospital and before he died, how many of y'all have ever said in his DMs or how many rappers, how many people ever around him say, yo, D, you need to chill, man. Yo, we only telling you this because we love you, man, but you gonna kill yourself. Yo, you need to chill. None of y'all. You know what y'all do? Y'all like Smokey and Craig on that porch. Remember Smokey? Yo, come on, man. Craig fucked up. That's the shit. That's the shit. What's good about being fucked up? What's good about it? Yo, I remember one time X pretended to be a cop, yeah, man, yo, X is wild, and yo, he got the black and orange jacket, yo, he running, yo, pull over, yo, I'm, yeah, he got arrested for that shit too. Grown man running around doing a bunch of kiddie shit. You understand what I'm saying? And all y'all do is laugh and X was this, X was that, yo, X was crazy. I never ever heard one story from not one of these motherfuckers that's supposed to be close to X say, yo, he was a good father. Yo, he was a good man. Yo, he had his issues, but like, you know, I remember one time this happened to me, yo, we did this together, we did that together. Everything is street beef, dumb shit, criminal activity. That's all y'all promote. Everything. How many of y'all ever got up in Tupac's face and say, yo, Pac, listen, you need to cool the fuck out. Y'all don't have the heart to do that. Yo, Pac, yo, Pac, you wild. Yo, Pac, what up? Yo, Pac. Yeah, let Pac just take the floor and stay in character, right? You know how many times, and you know it's crazy because I remember people talking shit about Michael J. White in comment sections and even like Faison Love and different people saying shit about Tupac, trying to defend him. Because I remember Michael J. White, he was not the only one. I heard Yo-Yo say the same thing. I heard like at least 5 or 6 different people say, yo, Pac was not the Pac y'all see spitting on cameras and yo, fuck it. He's like, yo, that's Pac on camera when Pac is in just wilding and he got noticed. He always got a bunch of people around when he do this stuff, right? Pac is laid back, chill. And I've heard people say Pac loved to fight, but he can't fight. But he was always noticed. Everything. You hear every story. What's the dude that was in Minister Society? Same thing. You always, like, he came and beat up the producers or whatever, right? Nothing Pac did was one-on-one. Everything Pac did was with a group of people. Pac was like that big. Everything he did was, yo, we jumping somebody, right? And it was always who? Black people. But let people talk. Pac loved his black people. Yo, he was a baby panther. Yeah, okay. But do you ever hear anything about him beating up any Puerto Rican gangs or any white gangs or anybody? No. You love your people so much. So we pick and choose who we, one of those things. Biggie Smalls. You got Keith Murray crying. I told you what, Big did not go to LA, man. And look at what Pac and Big got in common. Look at what Suge Knight involvement was with his murder. Look at what Diddy's involvement was. Where was all of this when it was happening? Because remember, I ain't no snitch. But now that they're in jail, now we want to tell all about what they did and their involvement with Pac and Big and how they both said, so you knew this all the time. But I ain't no snitch. We try to keep criminals off the street. I will never snitch. I will never. You know how dumb you sound talking about, I will never make my dead homies cry. It'll make my dead homies roll in their grave. Like, dumbass, that's not gonna happen. They're fucking dead. And they're dead because they think just like you. And you know what I find really crazy? Wherever you from, you trying to keep that gang culture alive and always talk about killing your own people. And you know, when these racist guys that walk around with signs disrespecting our black people, and y'all slap them around a little bit, but they leave on their own 2 feet or go to the hospital and just, could you wipe that cut for me? Right? But notice when it's black people doing this to black people, somebody leaving a body bag, right? Now, I'm not advocating for violence. This is what I'm saying, though. If you're going to do any of that to somebody, it should be your actual enemy. Why is black people always the target? Why do you think racist people keep saying black on black crime? Screw them, because when any other ethnic group does something, take the life or do any crimes to somebody's same ethnicity, nobody calls it, label it by that nationality or their ethnicity. We know this. But I'm saying, you would think, and you hear white people say this all the time, in these trying times, you think this would bring black people together. No, it doesn't. It absolutely does not. Nothing brings black people together. You have select people. You see what I'm saying right now? Any and everybody making these type of videos, we need to be subscribing to each other. We need to help push each other and push these messages out. Share, like, and send you. This is what we need to be doing. But even with people that's supposed to be so-called positive, they got the egos, like they think you're trying to steal their subscribers. It's like they're crabs in the barrel type thing. Listen, bottom line is, if you don't have an army, then what do you have? Just a bunch of people listening to you to come in your comment sections and tell you how wrong you are, because they support the bullshit. Because ignorant people are going to defend ignorant people. Drug addicts are going to defend drug addicts. Racists are going to defend racists. Do you understand what I'm saying? I got another video that I'm going to make, and I'm going to talk about some of this because there's still a lot of stuff I got to say, but we are going a little bit over an hour now. We're 9 minutes past. I'm going to wrap this one up. And, you know, it's amazing to me, man, how you guys don't get it. No matter what happens, no matter how many black people are out here getting killed, I bet you half of these black folks don't even know what's going on. No, it's not the black people, it's the niggas. They don't even know what's going on out here in these streets. They running around out here like it's a jungle. Dipping, dodging, hiding, quick to kill each other, but nope. Let these racists come in your neighborhoods and all they do is get slapped around a little bit. That's it. Why y'all put hits on each other? Why y'all ain't putting no hits on these racists? Why all these y'all, you the king of Houston, right? You the king of the South. You the king of Detroit. You the king of New York. Everybody the king of something, but y'all have no power, and it shows. They have no interest nor power. They have no interest nor power to stand up to these racists. They just don't have it in them. Y'all remember the movie Black Belt Jones with Jim Kelly back in the day? Remember they had the hip pocket? Remember that? Had the little pool hall, and they was out here hustling drugs and all that. But remember them two? Tell them, tú no sabes. What's your name? Tú no sabes. Huh? Had two old ass Italian dudes come down there and punk. You got this army of black dudes. Now you coming up there trying to take over. Just look at the mentality. They come down there to try to take over. This guy Pops. Remember he had the karate school? No, they wanted the building. And they brought their whole army of black people. And you got black people fighting each other. Now, of course, Pops and them, they defending their territory. Right? But bottom line, they wasn't scared to fight each other. But you let two little old ass Italians come in touching all of your beard, threatening to kill you in your own establishment. And your punk ass crew is standing outside. Nobody making sure you good. All these black dudes and y'all scared of two old ass Italians. Like, are you serious? Yeah. But that's the story. That's how it's always been. With these coon ass motherfuckers, man. And we just gotta be real about it. Every time I hear somebody say anything about positive black people, about black people that don't want to put this low frequency nonsense out, and I ain't talking about just music, I mean just in general. I watched a movie a couple of days ago, right there on Tubi, and it's this era's black cinema, 2020, whatever the movie was made. I watched that whole movie, and I still don't really know what the hell the plot was. All I know is every other minute it was a bunch of big naked black addies and asses and titties flopping all over the screen. But I'm like, well, okay, what is this movie actually about? And I swear it just felt like whoever was recording just said, hey man, just make up something and just talk. Yeah, man, know what I'm saying, folks? Man, I got to go down here and talk to this little girl about this thing now. Yeah, man. Yeah, nigga owe me some money. Yeah, what's up with that? Terrible acting and everything. And I'm just sitting here looking. Now, don't get me wrong. Have I seen some terrible movies that white people, everybody? But yes. The point what I'm saying is, this is the norm. This is the speed. This is what happens. So if you home and your 15-year-old or 12-year-old or whatever want to watch Tubi movies and they go to the black section, and they start looking, this is what they're gonna see. And they'll watch a movie and won't even care about what the movie's about. Just a bunch of killing, a bunch of sex scenes, and just a bunch of cursing and swearing and dudes beating up on women and just a bunch of negativity. And the thing about it is, even when the movie ends, you like, so what was the plot? Are you saying that all this shit is just life and hey, it's all good? What's the plot? Leave Hassan Campbell alone, yo. Why you coming for another black man who is, and let me say this so y'all understand this. My introduction to Hassan Campbell was him sitting in a car some years ago. And he was talking about what, the Bambaataa situation. So that was my introduction to him. Now, he's only human. We all are. And there's times when he would talk about, something that someone did, something that's hurting the culture, hurting our people. And then you got all these people who start talking trash now. As a human being, right? He gets triggered. Then he would respond. And he would start talking about, I went to jail and this and that and talk about what he did. And I'm like, he letting the, pressure get to him now. You doing exactly what you don't need to do in that situation. See, crabs in the barrel. They see you trying to keep everything positive. You trying to stay away from the back and to, hey man, I was this. You don't need to keep reminding the people what you was and what you did. You did that, right? You did jail time. You don't want to revisit that part of your life. That don't make you soft. That don't mean you're going to stand there and let somebody do anything to you. But case in point is, as a human being, right, we all have it. Like I said, I got a fucking temper. So it's like I'm saying, we all can make a decision that might not be the best one. And if you was to go back to jail, the same people in your comment sections would be laughing, they got that nigga, because that's just how crabs in the barrel are. But Mom, like I said, you got a black man who lived a certain lifestyle, made some bad decisions, did time, got his freedom back, became an entrepreneur, worked for himself and is doing his thing, living his life, taking care of his family. He say something about negativity, this toxic crap and what it's doing to our people, to our children, to our communities, and then y'all want to talk trash about him. You don't need me coming outside, nigga, you scared, all this stuff they say. But not one of y'all got the heart to say nothing to a non-black who's saying the same thing that Hassan Campbell is saying or anybody else that's black. That's all y'all do. Y'all like the pestilence. Y'all like the negativity. You see yourself as nothing. You're a bunch of self-hating niggas. You're not black people. You see your brother slip. You see a human being, a good human being slip. Help him back up. Now, y'all like to watch them fall and then try to hold them down. If they're black. That's just who y'all are. Anyway, I'm going to bring this video to a close. I'll catch you guys on the next one.